Everybody, Cheryl Marie. Okay, this is chapter 5 of Genesis. And a little background, this is a project that I'm working on. I would like to study or analyze the Holy Bible. I had this Bible since I was a child. My cousin had told me, no, my cousin had asked me to join some groups in Facebook. It was African groups. And I noticed that a lot of them were saying that African Americans were still slaves. And I don't really consider myself being a slave. They're saying African Americans are still a slave because of Christianity, and I am a Christian. So I don't really consider myself being a slave, because when I think of slavery, I think of Africans, our ancestors, picking cotton in the fields, and I'm too lazy for that. It's too much work for me, so I try to think with my brain. But so I want to disprove that or prove that belief, and the only book I have is the Bible. I would love to have people from all different religions to chime in, compare what I read from this Holy Bible with their religious beliefs, and see what comes from it. That's my project. And ideally, I said that I want to read from Genesis all the way to Revelations, and I'm spending 1 day per chapter, so that's a long time. I don't know, because I'm on chapter 5, so I've been doing this for 5 days now. I will upload some of my previous videos. They're extremely amateur. Well, it's amateur right now, but it was worse in the beginning. So you still should check me out. Also, I was asking for feedback, because it's no good me talking to myself. And if I'm analyzing the scriptures on my own, you all are only going to get what I feel is right. So if you don't chime in, you're just going to leave me being ignorant. I don't know. Don't do that. I need y'all to chime in. Post your comments. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Also, so for each verse, I was, when something came to my mind relative to that verse, I would talk about it. And then sometimes I would compare it against African spirituality based on history, because I really don't know. I wish Africans would chime in, but I don't think they're going to do it. I hope they will, though. So that's what it is. I feel like something comes to my mind, I talk about it. But if not, I just keep on going and just do one chapter at a time per day. Going, 7 o'clock. I'm trying to live stream on Facebook and on YouTube, but it's not working. I'm looking at the thing swirling around for YouTube saying connect streaming software. Even though my profession is project management analyst, I call IT for help. So I deal with projects, and this is my personal project that I want to work on. Okay, so let me just start reading. Chapter 5 of Genesis. This is the book of the generations of Adam. Now, mind you, I am not good with these names that they name their children, so it's going to be humorous. I'm going to have to abbreviate or something, because it's going to get messed up. But Like, after I do the videos, I see I'm working on a lot of things, and this is helping me to make me become a better me, to do what it is I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to work on getting rid of my procrastination, which is causing me not to be prepared every time I do the video, which is probably good because I can see, like, ground zero, how I am. And then when I go back and review these videos so I can take notes, actually, this is my notes. Okay, so I'm practicing, practicing my public speaking skill on you, with you. To be a better presenter. It's gonna take so long. So ideally, what I'm really supposed to be doing is making these video presentations, go back and look at these presentations, make notes, and I want to create a group discussion. That's what I really want to do. But right now, time go by so fast. I mean, like, sitting home, Corona season. But I still have a lot of things to do. And this time, okay, chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God, made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in a day when they were created. Okay. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. So back in like chapter 4, Seth, Adam had another child, and we have read about how Cain killed Abel. Yes. So go back to my other videos and review that. It's kind of hilarious too, because my personality. Okay, so verse 3. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. 4. And the days of Adam after he begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. So did Seth have sons and daughters over Adam? 800 years old. How is that calculated? In real time, would that be like he was 80 years old? See, things like this, I want to go back and review and come back in group discussions to talk about it. So that's 1. 4. And the days of Adam after he begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. 5. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. 930. Till he died when he was 93. 5. And all the days that Adam lived, I keep repeating myself, so redundant. Well, 5. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. 6. And Seth lived 105 years and begat Enos. I can't do my daily math with 105 because that'll be 15. So you see what I was doing? I was taking away that 0. I don't know how old he was. He was older than I don't know. Just keep going. 7. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years and begat sons and daughters. 8. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Okay, so chapter 5. Basically, I don't really have to read all of this because people begetting people. And they died of, they lived a long life and they died. So basically, that's what's that all about. But what I will do is, after my procrastination in, I'm going to like make a map. Is it like a family tree line? And that's a good project. So I'm gonna do that. So basically from 10 through, oh wait, so Noah, let me skip over to 29 because that's getting interesting. That's when Noah comes in the picture. Mm-hmm. So 29. Now let's go back up 28. So Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son. So Noah's father's name was Lamech. No, I'm probably tearing the name up though. So 29. And he called his name Noah, saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. So I'm still trying to figure out who wrote Genesis to know all of this. And basically, I'm making a comparison like, I was trying to, I know Africans don't like to be literally called Africans. They like to be called the names of the countries in which they reside. Like, don't call me an African, I'm a Nigerian. Don't call me African, I don't know. I gotta learn my geography too. This is really bad. But you know what I'm saying? So, but I got a lot of work to do based on the real project that I'm trying to create. So, I was trying to convince them that Christianity was not really that bad. It may have been used like in a bad way to enslave our ancestors, you know, our African ancestors. I get that part. But Africans are like resilient people, at least the ones that came to America, or probably everywhere though, to the point where they took something bad, whereas the Bible was not supposed to be read by them, and they took that and they taught themselves how to read and probably write too. So they took something bad, like if the Bible was used to enslave us, the Africans turned it around and made the Bible their strength. That's what I was trying to convince the Africans that was in that chat group. And it didn't work, it didn't help. They were stuck on it. So I'm like, okay, what other way can I reach them? So I was trying to reach them through making a comparison of me reading the Bible and trying to say some good things about it, and like how it can be useful in our daily walk. I haven't heard from one. Actually, I did, because it was in a different group. Now, I was posting people on Facebook that I was going to tell them about. Like, I did get one review critic, and that's only because of my mouth. Like, because, see, I was talking about, there was this post where this guy was on a rampage, and he was upset, a black guy, for a legitimate reason, because, you know, tired of his killing and the police brutality for no real reason. So he was complaining about, is retribution the right word? Or getting back at them. He wanted to go, like, do some harm. But, see, and then me, my naive self, said, like, because he hated everybody. Mostly white people. But then he also hated black people that did not, like, want separation. So he hated people like Martin Luther King group. He was more like Malcolm X, the pre-Malcolm X, before he went to Africa. So the guy that made the post, I wasn't talking to him, but it was, you know, like how people comment and comment. So the first guy who made a comment said, yeah, that's right. You know, he was agreeing with the poster. So my little naiveness said, how can you want separation how can he want separation from white people when he's using a white people's platform to sound all crazy? Do anybody understand what I'm trying to say? So my my review critic, I didn't know he was reviewing it. He got upset with me, so it was like paragraphs coming across the screen. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna start something else again. So this me talking. This is part of my project. So I still was trying to calm him down, but it wasn't working. And then he came back at me and said, well, you acted like a fool. And I didn't know what he was talking about. And then I was like, and I was ignoring that part. Because I said, well, how can you call my name, type my name wrong when my name is in your face? You can see how it's spelled, Cheryl Marie. But he typed out Shirley. And it's like, so. Then he came back and corrected my name. He's like, well, you doing this what is that word he said? Oh my God, I forgot. Is it washed down or washed down Bible study? I forgot what he was saying. Like it was weak. This weak Bible study. And I was like, first I got hurt and offended. I'm like, okay, because I know like 50-50 is kind of crazy, but I was doing it for my own reasons, which is to like, because I'm an introvert and I'm trying to learn how to, you know, extrovert myself. So I just came back and, oh, wow, okay, you watched my video? Thank you. And I was like, because, hey, he watched it. He watched the video, so I felt good. All right, and then after that, no more conversation. He didn't say nothing else to me. So that was that. I was telling people on Facebook that I was going to tell y'all about that. Okay, so let me see where we at. I don't know. Turn all the way away from Genesis. Because I was asking for feedback anyway. So good feedback, bad feedback. I just want feedback so I can like perfect what it is I'm trying to do. So thank you, guys, for the review. Okay, so this is not gonna take long because I skipped through all the names. I just want to get to the Noah part. So 29. And he called his name Noah, saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. See that part? It's like, okay, God cursed the ground. I need to talk about that. I need somebody to like chime in and tell me how do they feel about that? 30. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. 31. And all the days of Lamech were 777, and he died. 32. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay. So that was chapter 5. I probably kind of like tore it up a little bit, but do you believe everything in the Bible is true, literally, or do you believe everything in the Bible is true symbolically, or do you believe the Bible was created to control society, which means that scholars and philosophers and all those high-level thinking people got together to conglomerate on something solid? Well, it worked because we're still studying the Bible, we're still living by it. I feel like if it can bring about eventually world peace, then it's good. But if it's used in a way where Muslims feel like God is trying to smite, kill all their enemies, I think Christians probably doing it too. You know, like the military. Study that way, you know. I feel like we need a better way. We need to learn. We need to study the Bible in a way where it shows God's love, peace, grace, even for people that get on our nerves and that irritates us. We can find an inner peace within ourselves to shield us from things that annoy us. That's not the summary for chapter 5, but in a sense, I feel like the summary for chapter 5 is how the people that affected history, they were beginning to come into existence because they were being born. And based on that, that is why I want to take all these names, learn how to pronounce them, and dissect them into like a family tree, and then connect the dots on what they were doing, how did they live their lives, and the impact that they created throughout history. And maybe we can learn from that to impact our lives and other people's lives to create a future the way God felt that we should be doing. versus God feeling a little disappointed and slighted because he's like, dang, why did I give them free will? Now, comparing that with slavery, seeing how, I know you've heard, and some of you may agree that the white man feel like they are God. I'm just saying, leaders in general, if you want to lead people, okay, that's fine. If anybody of any nationality want to lead people, that's fine. But can you be good, nice leaders? Can you not be so evil and mean? Can you, people, white man was able to enslave Africans because of the calm nature Africans have. I don't know, meek, I don't want to say meek, but it's more meek than compared to how the white man was treating them. So there was, and serving, we honestly, some kind of reason we love to serve. I don't know if it's because of slavery, but we love to serve. But if we're serving, well, we're getting paid for it, we're getting paid. But if we here to help, be nice. I'm gonna stop rambling because, like, I got a lot of studying to do, so that's chapter 5. People came to existence that were an important part of history. I'm gonna do this every day because I committed myself to doing this. So see you tomorrow. Take care. God bless.